Pretty good. We're just eating some Chick-fil-A and starting a podcast. So
that's a good day.
Yeah.
I was gonna make tacos, and then I opened the fridge to get the taco meat, and there was none. So apparently, I didn't buy taco meat.
Oh no.
We improvised.
Yeah.
So, Gracie, I haven't actually met you.
Hello.
We're Facebook friends, though, so that's cool.
Yep.
But, we're one step closer now if we're talking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this stud muffin that you've heard is Shawnee Poo.
That's my given Christian name, apparently.
Nice to meet you, Shawnee Poo.
See, he tolerates me very well. So,
thank you guys.
You have class on Monday.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you again?
I got a screaming kid.
No, yeah, I'm thinking class was... What did you think of class?
No fair.
I do.
Yeah.
That's not how that question works.
Well, I guess I don't really have any immediate thoughts.
Okay. All right.
I think I've like I've kind of talked to you, like I've just been kind of struggling with the program in general lately. Just with being able to relate and being able to apply to my life.
Yeah, I mean, this one right now is pretty practical.
I would say it's pretty practical for someone who's in ministry and has to deal with, ethics. The class for our listeners is ethics. Ministry ethics. And
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, we get to talk about how do you handle...
It's like church politics, basically.
It's not really church politics. It's like when somebody comes in and they, confess that they had an abortion. And how do you deal with that? So it's how do you handle the issues that most people like to avoid handling?
Yeah, so that's right up my alley right now as a deacon in my church.
Okay.
I need this class.
Yeah.
In fact, the book that we're reading, The Fellowship of Difference, Scott McKnight, I actually read a portion of that to the deacons last night for a devotional because it was right on. Yeah, it was the part about trying to see the invisible people in your community and in your church.
Okay.
Finding out who's not being seen or maybe not being cared for.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that, but I'm in that setting right now. So.
Yeah, and I guess right now it's just hard for me to, apply it to my setting, which is not ministry or leadership. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But did you see the schedule? I think we have 2 doctrine classes coming next.
Right? I haven't really looked at the schedule, but yeah, I think you're right.
Are you cherries?
Are you able to hear us okay right now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're outside and it's really windy, so it's not interfering with the noise.
Nope. We're good.
It's just too nice to be inside right now, so...
Yeah.
That's true. We've been outside all day. We have a kiddie pool. The church got a bounce house, my church, and we have a little playground that's new there, so we had a big church neighborhood play date thing today.
Nice. Aww. Like a little block party?
Yep. Essentially. Yep. And my kids were thrilled because every time you say bouncy castle, you're the hero.
Well, should we talk about some highs and lows of our week?
Sean has a really good high.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, so I guess I'm the one-man evangelism committee, missions and evangelism committee at our church. I'm trying to grow it into more, but there's a guy who was raised in Nepal. His dad's a pastor and church planter in Nepal, and he came here to go to Calvin Seminary, and he's still here. But he works with pastors and church planters in Nepal to train them to multiply over there, and he also like works to build support for them here in the States. And so
Their Christian population was like.
yeah, in Nepal there's like, I mean, it's vast majority Hindu, and a lot of Buddhist as well. And recently they have like a Maoist communist government. And before that they had like a kind of a authoritarian monarchy that wasn't good either. So they kind of swung from one extreme to the other. But for whatever reason the field is ripe, right? And there's something going on in that part of the world, and people are open to the gospel, and there's all these mostly young men, but they're like family guys. They're not so young that they don't have families, but they're like, generally experienced pastors, and they're just like going around and training others to go around, and they literally go door to door and share the gospel, or just make connections with people they know, and then people they know, and people they know, and so on, to like meet with people. And anyway, on last night, this guy, his name's Yaakov, he's in town here. He like connected us by Zoom to they're having like a class or a training in Nepal, and it was like 8 a.m. there and like 10 o'clock here, but we got to meet 3 or 4 guys. Then he translated for us. Me and another guy from our church were on this like video conference call together, and they all shared their their testimony and what they were doing and what their vision is for their church planting, and they all want to plant like 100 churches by 2020 or something. It's like amazing. And they're pretty, I mean, and a church there is kind of like an Acts, where it's like, they go into a village with 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 families, and if they can get a certain percentage of those families to basically make a church, that's 30 or 40 people, and which is enough to kind of get something going in that town. And so it's really like house churches more than what we think of as churches, but still, I mean, that's how it grows. And
But tell them how it's starting.
Oh, is it something?
With the pastor with the hammer.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they shared their testimonies, and, one guy said that he was, kind of like an animist, which means, he worships, like, nature spirits, whatever, and a drunk, a violent drunk, he said. And he just had some friends that were Christians and that were walking alongside him in his life and just kind of being a constant good witness to him, and kind of a salt and light to him. And, he couldn't quite shake what they were mentioning and talking to him about, but he kind of, pushed it back, and then, eventually he accepted their invitation to join them at a baptism class, which I guess means like their, check out this Christianity thing class that could culminate in baptism. So kind of like catechism, I guess. Okay. And he just like decided to go on a whim, basically. And then by the end of that, he was a professing believer. He took baptism, and then he was trained as a pastor, basically. And now he does that, and I think it's been a few years since then. And, but then another guy said that he would fight or argue with his relatives or friends about things like his hang-up point was, yeah, but what about like our forefathers? So like, if this is true, then what about all those people that went before this gospel came to our area? What happened to all the people who died before they could hear that, right? So that he was really hung up on that. But then he got really sick one day, and he knew who the pastor was in town, and he called him in, and the pastor, no, he wasn't sick, it was his daughter.
No, it was him.
Was it him?
It was him.
It was him. And his mother was a believer, right? And his mother brought the pastor, or his brother-in-law.
Yeah, I'm fogging the details, but a woman, came and prayed over him, and the Lord healed him immediately. And the next day, he went to that pastor and was like, all right, train me up. Like, and now he's a pastor himself and church planting.
So, I mean, that's like straight out of Acts. And then I asked more about, like, if they see stuff like that. And he said that they often do. They had, like, a guy who had his daughter was sick, and they brought the whole family brought them all to the church, and they wanted healing. They wanted prayer for healing, but the church planner basically, or the church pastor said, like, basically, like, we need you to believe in God no matter what he does or doesn't do with your daughter. Like, whether he heals her or not, you need to be part of this church. And they agreed to that, but she still was healed. She got better. But I thought that was interesting how they almost like shrewdly through experience realize, like, some people might still have the old mindset of, like, if they come from like an animist or Hindu background where it's all about, like, well, the gods are angry and I got to do whatever I can to appease the gods that are afflicting me. If they still have that mindset, that's not something that they want. Obviously, that's not Christianity, so they don't want some kind of synchronized thing where that's what people think Christianity is. It's just, they're like, oh, this is just another god among many, and I now know how to appease this god too. That's not what they want, so they want, like, a different shift in the mindset. And it sounded interesting to my ears, because, you know, we don't usually see that kind of thing happening here, where you don't see pastors like bargaining or whatever, like, kind of saying, like, you know, okay, but here's what you got to do in return. But in their context, it makes sense, because they're very sensitive to the fact that people have this view of God that is this very transactional relationship, and I wonder if we're good enough, like, if we, in our culture, in our context, are as shrewd or as mindful about how we talk about things with people around us about that, like people that may have the complete wrong idea of God, and we either don't, like, call out that wrong view and let them kind of live in a delusion, I guess, like, or just are totally ignorant of it and, like, not even realize, because we're part of it too, that we're not, like, you know, probably it would take someone else from another culture to point out our blind spots to us a little bit, of, like, hey, you guys all believe this crazy thing, and we just think it's normal. Just like in their culture, they think it's normal to, you know, use it like a mystery, a shaman or whatever, to cast a spell or uncast a spell, or like this kind of crazy stuff. That's just normal for them. It looks weird to us, but I'm sure there's things we do that look weird to other people in other cultures. Yeah. But that was definitely a high, was to get that perspective, meet those guys kind of face to face. It was cool because, you know, there's, you know, we all have the exact same iPhone earbuds. It's just so cool. Like, they're in Nepal, like, you hear, like, roosters in this kind of hut building, but, like, here we are all connecting over iPhones and iPhone. Like, how cool.
Talking about what Jesus is doing.
Like, this wouldn't be possible 10 years ago, or, you know, like, to connect with people around the world like this. It's so cool. And what an opportunity.
Absolutely. I told you he had a good one.
What about your low? You have a low for the week?
Where's your towel?
What'd you say?
Oh. Where is your towel?
I don't know where it is.
Hold on.
We have a towel emergency.
Okay.
What do you mean you're hungry? You ate all your dinner. Actually, I got Oreos. So easy to be the hero around here. Here. You can have two, but take them to the deck.
Can I have some?
You can edit this out.
Can I have some?
Well, then there'd be some kids in the background. Did you eat? Oh, yeah, you ate your food all up. You know what? I ate my food all up, too. Maybe I'll make some Oreos. Yeah.
I got a tax train.
Does John want any?
Mine.
Can you send some through the phone?
Wow, it's one Oreo. It's just one Oreo.
I want an Oreo.
You want an Oreo?
Yes.
Like, I buy the off-brand Oreos because I don't like them as well as the regular Oreos, and I hope that it just, like, slows me down in eating them, but I'm kind of acquiring a taste for them now.
Oh, no.
Anyway. Okay, what's your low, honey? He's back.
Hello? I don't know. Monday nights are always lonely without you.
Aww. Same.
Yeah, I guess Gracie knows how that goes.
Isn't he so well trained? 10 years of marriage, he knows what to say. So what was someone else's high and low?
Gracie says she can go.
So I'm gonna start with my low because it's affecting me right now. But I've been really dehydrated the past couple days, and it's giving me like really bad headaches.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I just want to sleep all the time, and like last night was really bad. Like I had a migraine, and I felt like kind of dizzy a little bit. So I was just like, I just have to lay still. Have this like heated pillow on my face and not move a whole bunch. But I talked to my mom, and she said, "Yeah, you're just dehydrated, so just drink a whole bunch of water."
Do you get that a lot, or not so much?
Kind of. I mean,
Is it related to your like blood sugar?
I don't know.
Low or high blood sugar? Low. Yeah.
It's probably all connected, but I just need to drink more water.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, it's hard though with coffee and
Yeah. Probably a high was taking up more hours at work, I think. Because I got gypped on hours when the new schedule came out. These crows, really. Sitting outside. I'm enjoying the podcast. Anyway, yeah, I got gypped on hours. And I picked some more up because one of my coworkers left for summer camp. Camp counselor up in New Hampshire. So I get her hours. And it's exciting.
yeah. So what are you going to do with all that money?
Pay for Honduras.
Oh, tell me more about that.
We're leaving in 2 weeks. Next Friday, I think, is when we leave.
Oh my gosh!
Yep, that's
a little crazy to think about.
Are you guys going with the youth group?
Yeah. We had a meeting, was it last week? Yeah. Or this past week?
This past week.
Going over basically what our duties are going to be and who's going to do what and everything. So we had a meeting. There's two teams. There's the VBS team and there's the youth team. And basically we had a separate meeting with just our team and talked about what we're going to do. So we're going to hold a couple of youth rallies during which we're going to share the gospel,
share testimonies.
Share testimonies. I guess it's or something. and yeah, then during the week we're gonna help them. They have like Bible classes, I guess, and so we're gonna teach them a little bit about. We're basically gonna go through the gospel work pace, like one day at a time, basically. So we're gonna go more in depth, I suppose. So we're going to like start with, creation and the fall, then go into like, talk about like the law and about, Israel. The law doesn't, law isn't what saves you. And then we're going to talk about Jesus and his, sacrifice on the cross. And about, the church and all. Commission of the church is to make disciples.
So do you guys have interpreters or do you speak Spanish?
No, there's going to be interpreters.
That's helpful.
Well, I was thinking, an idea that I had is I'm going to use a lot of scripture in my talk, and I might just, look up a Spanish Bible and just use the Spanish version of those scriptures. Yeah. So I can just, do my talk in English, but when I read the scriptures, I can read the scriptures in their language.
So you have enough Spanish background to be able to read the Bible in Spanish.
But I'll know what it says.
No, fair enough.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. How long will you guys be gone?
A week.
Nice. Are you driving?
22nd until the 3rd.
That'd be a long drive. I don't know.
Honduras? Are you serious?
Yeah, they, okay, so apparently that's a no, but the beach,
Like literally halfway down the
Johnny and Belen did it. There are these people from our church that literally
Yeah,
made
but
that
now
drive.
for a
Okay,
week.
now that I
They
hear
drove
it,
to Honduras.
Wait,
now that I
what?
hear it, that's a stupid question.
It's not Honduras, New Mexico.
I know somebody who did the drive, but you're right. It took them much
That's like
longer
a
than
tour, not a let's get there. It's like
Okay.
a secret time.
Okay, I'm wrong.
She's
Mark your calendar.
very good at directions, as you can tell.
Okay, so you're flying.
Yes, yeah, we're flying.
We have to be up at 2 a.m. to go to Chicago and catch our flight at like 6 a.m.
Yep.
Gross.
Yeah. We're gonna pull an all-nighter, I think.
Yeah.
And being up at 2 a.m., what do you do? Like, take a nap, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, boy. Well, that's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Sarah, do you want to do your highs and lows?
Okay. My whole life is like highs. I'm just the eternal optimist right now. My high is probably on Sunday morning worship. So, I was filling in for our worship leader who went to Disney World. And we just had fun. Like, I really love worship and worship leading and all of that. But we did this one new song that I really wanted to do and kind of like pushed for. And it was just so moving and amazing. And the woman who sang it, I had my friend who was playing keys sing it, and it was just so good and so powerful. And like I had goosebumps and yay Jesus. Woo! So, yeah. So, it's called You Are God and You Are Good. It's by Austin Stone Worship. Who, by the way, if you don't know who they are, you need to. They are, yeah. So that particular song was like originally done in a male-led key. So I'm not like super good at music theory at all. So I found a chart and I figured it out, and I was all proud of myself, and it worked.
Nice.
Woohoo! Wow. So yeah, it was cool. And you know, I just felt encouraged in like, you know, I'm not the worship leader and I don't really have a good music background or anything like that, but I've been doing it lately, and so when it goes well, I feel really encouraged. So I'm trying to think of what a low was. I actually had a good week. But, like a few minutes, well, I don't know, maybe an hour ago, I checked my grade for some reason. I don't know why I checked it again, because I checked my grades on this paper that we turned in for Monday. And I turned it in 2 days early, so I got a grade already, like before class started on Monday, I had a grade. And it was a good grade. Well, for some reason, I went back in today, and the grade was different and not good. And so I'm like, oh no.
Maybe he gave you my grade.
I have not had a grade that low at all in PGS, and I've been in PGS for a year. No way, Jose, did I get that grade. So I emailed him, and he said, oh, I'm away from the computer for a few days.
Oh no.
So Sean will tell you that patience is my raisin of the spirits.
Yeah.
You're raising the spirit.
That's my patent pending book title. Is what's your raisin of the spirit or something like that. But the only reason I can't write it is because I don't actually have the solution. Like I don't have like how to turn your raisins into fruits of the spirit.
Wow, well that's a good idea.
I got to figure that out before I can write a book about it.
Yeah, you might want to. So I have to wait a few days to figure out why my grade is not good, because it should be better than that. I mean, it's no like Gettysburg Address, but like, I don't know. His comments were positive, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird that you had a grade already.
I know. And I mean, you know, maybe I saw it wrong or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, if that's my low, then that's pretty good. I'm still doing pretty good.
Yeah.
What you Hayden?
Me? I guess I'll start with my low.
We're so positive.
On the topic of, school and classes and stuff. I just have been struggling with class lately. Like, I've always kind of struggled with class, like with turning in assignments and staying motivated and cutting out time to do homework and everything. So that is difficult enough, but especially lately when I just have not been that engaged in the class. Like, I literally have been doing most of my papers on the car. So that's why you keep seeing me, like, finishing it up when I sit down. So. And then not even getting enough pages because I just don't know what else to say. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. Hey, apparently it's like hitting me.
Well, to be fair, the last class was a little dull.
Yeah, well, I think the last class was, like, maybe it's because I wasn't engaging. Maybe I just wasn't getting out of it what I was supposed to. It just didn't seem like I was getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite class or your favorite day of a certain class so far?
So I really enjoyed the first interpretation class we had with David Seal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Probably just because it was more like Bible stuff, and I enjoy the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. And
But the last class was all Bible stuff too, so I don't know why that one. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was I think it was the first class where we actually just sat there for 4 hours and listened. Ugh, that's hard. Like the other ones you were doing more practical stuff, like, okay, now look into this and look into that, and it was more like just sit and listen.
Yeah, the last class seemed like it was more like conversations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Quit fidgeting.
We're outside, the deck table has like little holes in it, so I was like pushing my fingers through it, and I got my fingers stuck, and I'm just like, oh no! What's your low for the week, Gracie? My fingers stuck in a table.
Yeah, I do have a new low. Had to be cut off the deck.
Oh man.
What's your high?
I would say my high was church this Sunday. We visited a new church.
Yeah.
Well, the church isn't new, but it was new to us. Because one of Gracie's students was getting baptized there. So we went to show our support. But it was,
What church is it?
It's called Reformed Baptist Church in Kalamazoo, or of Kalamazoo, or whatever. It's just, Reformed Baptist Church, or RBC. But, yeah, it was really, really cool. Like, what? Hi! Who are you?
Oh my goodness!
I'm guessing animal.
Yeah.
I'm guessing cute animal.
A puppy?
Adorable.
Sweetheart! You're not supposed to be up here right now!
Is this one of your neighbor's cats?
Yes!
Oh.
It's one of my neighbor's cats! Hi! I want to pet you!
That's so funny.
Oh, you're so pretty!
This random cat
Does it black?
No, it's a gray, long-haired cat.
Could be miserable in the sun.
Yeah.
I'd imagine being a long-haired cat in the summer.
Oh no!
Go away! Oh! My heart can't take it!
Gracie, are you an animal lover?
Yes, but the sun is going to get annihilated if my cat sees it. Oh no! Sweetheart, go home. I know, I'm sorry. I heard the meowing before I saw the cat, so it kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyways. Yeah, this church was really cool. Unfortunately, for one thing, it was really, really crowded. Like, I think their attendance was probably doubled that day because there were like 3 baptisms. So
Yeah,
like
that'll do it.
everyone's family and friends were visiting, including us. So it was really, really busy and really loud. And we sat towards the back, and like they had microphones. It was still like so loud because kids were, fidgeting and talking and stuff.
Gracie was fidgeting.
Gracie was, fidgeting and talking. But yeah, it was just hard to hear at times. But other than that, like I really enjoyed the message. The message was short because the service was mostly dedicated to the baptisms. But the message was really good.
What was the highlight of the message?
Well, it was very short. Again, it was about basically he went through Peter's Pentecost sermon and went through that and how Peter went basically calling people to follow Christ and ended it with be baptized and everything. So.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think the main point of the message was just to like highlight like this is why we baptize and this is why baptism is such a cool thing. So,
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I liked the music too.
Be quiet and go away.
Like I'm at a place in my life where I'm like discovering sort of how I like to worship because I've worshipped like one way my whole life and have never really gotten into it because like my whole life has pretty much been like normal like contemporary worship and I don't know, I guess I just always took it as like this is just what worship is, like nobody does hymns anymore, like that's a thing of the past and that this is just the way worship is. And now that I have been to a couple of churches that do sing hymns, it's like, wow, this is like an entirely different experience. I was pretty much like told my whole life and like pretty much made to believe that hymns are just boring and like the reason nobody does them is because they're boring, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like I will never sing hymns. But then when I actually heard them, I was like, wait, these aren't boring.
They're not boring.
Really cool.
No.
Yeah, but then the church that we went to, RBC, they sang worship songs, but they weren't like the popular worship songs. Like they were, some of them were hymns, and some of them were just other worship songs, but they had a really nice sound. And the one thing that I liked about it was that the music was it wasn't quiet, but it wasn't super loud. Like they didn't turn up the speakers all the way. So you could actually hear the whole congregation singing.
Yes, I love that.
It was so unifying. Like I just felt like I was just like with the church, like singing with them. So it was amazing.
Definitely. It really is unifying to hear all of the people singing around you.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, I love that. Yeah, sometimes, I remember one time specifically when I was leading, and it was a new song, and so I was like hoping everybody would catch on and sing,
Yeah.
And it was simple. Anyway, at the end of the song, it was like we cut out the band and like just the acoustic strumming, and like singing, and I could hear the whole congregation singing, and just instant goosebumps.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
That's good. Yeah, so, and I think we might go back sometime to check it out, because I think we both liked it.
Yeah. There was an overwhelming amount of people that I knew that went there that I had no idea that went there. So I was like, oh my gosh, how are you? Oh my gosh, how are you?
Yeah, and you guys should check it out on a regular Sunday and see if you fit, space-wise.
I just texted my mom asking if we could keep the gray cat.
Did you say it was your neighbor's?
I don't know if it is or not, but it keeps going back and forth.
Does it have a collar?
No.
No, it doesn't. It looks kind of dirty, too.
But
I didn't see a collar.
He's so cute.
But yeah, but isn't it like, it doesn't Olive hate it?
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do about Olive?
I'm gonna keep the cat downstairs. I don't.
Just
My cat is a single family cat. She is not she does not like to share.
No siblings.
This beautiful gray cat come walking by. She just hisses and spits and is awful.
She's a jealous cat.
So like that was the first time that we actually got to like see it up close and pet it and stuff. So
Aww.
my mom told me not to pet it if it was somewhere out here, but I just did. So
Well, I did too.
And now that's recorded.
Yeah. I don't think does she listen to it?
I don't know. I have another low. Just one of my favorite Detroit Tigers players is out for the season.
Oh
He hurt his arm really bad. During some tendon to bicep, I think. Like he went to swing the bat, and he went back,
no.
and it like pop, 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 right in his bicep. So.
Oh. That sounds horrible.
And he's one of the best players on the team. So rest in peace, Tigers.
So you're a baseball fan, Gracie?
I am, yeah.
I knew that was baseball. That's something. She mentioned a bat. And
I heard the NFL referred to as not for long, like in the context of the athletes don't last very long. They get so beat up and so hurt. And it seems true of all professional sports except for maybe golf or something, but they certainly get paid enough to compensate it, probably.
Golf, you just drive your car into a tree.
I guess, do they get paid when they're disabled? Is that how that works? Do they get paid like less for off the roster? But still employed? I don't know how that works.
I don't know like the ins and outs of boards. I just like them.
That's fair enough.
Casual.
Sean has to know the ins and outs of everything. Right?
Yes, that's true. Like, I love the movie. I played baseball growing up and I played softball at church.
Yeah.
But I really like the movie Moneyball because it's like about baseball, but not really, because it's about like kind of the math or like the theory of baseball of like what really
Trading.
it's more like it's more like from an asset valuation standpoint where they were basically I don't know if you've seen it, but he figures out a way to buy undervalued players because he looks at a different metric on base percentage as like the primary determinant of value for a baseball player is, obviously you win games if you score runs, and you score runs by getting on base. And so if you're out, the on base percentage is like the highest correlation to win loss or whatever. And when you rank players on when you rank players on base percentage, being compared to like salaries and stuff, like they found that there's some like really good buys out there, and they went like it was the true story of the Oakland Athletics, scooping up all these kind of unknown players who were overlooked by all the traditional metrics that like the scouts would look at, and got. I don't think they got the World Series that year, but they got turned around, and then within a few years had won the World Series from using that method, and then that method. Now everyone uses it, 15 years later, it's called sabermetrics, but it's like, so it's about baseball, but not really, but it's a cool movie. If you like baseball a little bit, it'll make you really like baseball, and if you don't like baseball, it might make you like baseball.
And that didn't work.
So that didn't work for I thought it might, but I feel like you should fall asleep, actually.
Well, maybe something more like,
Sandlot?
You already had an Oreo.
I want one.
You guys want to say hi to Mr. Hayden and Miss Gracie?
Hi.
hi.
Hi. Say hi.
Hi. My name is Pammy.
Oh gosh.
That's Penny's name.
I should not put him on the phone. The kid is a loose cannon.
David, you say, dude.
What was the best part of your week?
What was the best part of your week, David?
Bouncy castle.
Ooh.
And easy to do flips on it. And I know how to do flips on it. I flipped on it lots of times.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was at church today, Bouncy Castle.
I flipped in the air when I won.
That's Jonathan. I flipped. Translation is I flipped in the air when I jumped. Yep. That's right. Okay. Oh, you heard Daddy. Head to the shower. They're so cute. There was a couple of them. So yeah, the first one that you said something was David, and he said, "My name is Pammy." That's what they call my mom. Her name is Rita.
Okay.
But they call her Pammy because when then my oldest was little, he tried to say Grammy, and he couldn't say it, and he called her Pammy, and she was just so excited that a grandkid was calling her something that she took the name, and now, all of the grandkids call her Pammy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like my dad when my brother had my brother and my sister-in-law had their little girl. She always called my dad instead of Grandpa. She called him Beepaw. So that's what she and her sister called my dad is Beepaw.
Does he like it?
Huh?
Does he like the name? Like, does he find
Yeah,
it
of
cute?
course.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, same thing. When it's your little granddaughter calling you.
Yeah. Yeah. They can pretty much say anything. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's too cute. Hey, hit the showers. Beat it.
Little voices over there.
How many kids do you have?
Three boys. Yeah, and they're very close in age. They were all three born in just under 3 years.
Wow.
Yep.
My goodness. Well, when they're close in age.
Yes, I would not change it. So, like, those few years were pretty insane, and, like, I don't even remember them at all. I didn't do baby books, or, like, I was just hanging on for dear life. But now, like, I go to bed at night, and everybody sleeps.
Aw.
Like, they all sleep at night. And I never thought that would occur, because we didn't sleep for several years. And, and, like, they play together, and they get along, until they don't, But, yeah! So now it's, like, really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good when they're close in age, because they get to, keep each other company, and they always have someone to play with, pretty much.
Yeah, they really do. And they all three share a bedroom.
Okay.
And that just has been, I wouldn't change that if I had multiple bedrooms in my house, because it's so cute.
Aww.
The brother shenanigans that they do in there, like, sometimes we just stand outside the door and listen to them and laugh.
My apple.
What are you doing?
Eating an apple.
You're eating an apple?
Yeah.
Is it great? There is a banana peel floating in the kiddie pool, so that's fun. Do you even have enough to... Do you have one more week of class before we go?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna miss a class. Whatever we talked about that day.
Did you hear what the makeup assignment is for missing a class?
No.
Or should I not tell you? That can be your low next week.
No, tell me, what is it?
Well, Sharaya told me because she has to miss a class. Oh, Hayden. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. No, you'll be fine. She said that she has to read a book that she hasn't read before that is topical for the class. Write a paper about it, I don't know how long, and give a 5-minute presentation in class.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's what she said. I don't know who's going to tell Jamar because he wasn't there in London.
Oh, no.
I know. So,
Yeah.
We did have that, that presentation,
You can do a really nice presentation. I've seen it. Hey, you can pick your book too. Pick something like, you're into worship, or like getting into worship now. Of course, I'm totally into worship, so read a worship book and talk about that as it applies to ministry. You can read the David Crowder one.
How long is that?
I don't.
Oh.
Always read something by David Crowder if you have the chance.
Okay.
I have a really funny story about David Crowder. This might be too inappropriate, but not my story. It's my brother's. So they went to see, I think it was at Sunshine Community Church in Grand Rapids.
Oh, yeah.
My brother and his friends went to see him in his concert. And they stuck around to the end because they wanted to get a picture with Crowder. But he went into the bathroom. So they saw him go into the bathroom. And they said, okay, we'll just, act casual outside the bathroom. We're sitting there waiting for him, except that he was in there forever. And the whole place cleared out, and they're still awkwardly standing there, hoping he comes out of the bathroom. So they send in a scout, my brother. He goes into the bathroom. The light is off. You know those, automatic, those, motion sensor lights? He'd been in there long enough that the light went off. So when my brother walked in, the light came back on, and he saw feet.
Oh my gosh!
And he's like, okay, he's alive and he's still in there. So they did, but now they're committed. So they did. They waited, awkwardly outside the bathroom. He came out. They got their picture.
Wow!
I always think of that way. Think of David Crowder. So poor David Crowder. He's human too.
Good night, Mama.
Good night, sweet pickle. You guys gonna read some books?
Yeah, I'm gonna read some yummy books. Can I sit on your lap, Mama? It's in a lap.
Yeah, maybe you guys can say. So maybe you guys can say goodbye to Mr. Hayden and Miss Gracie.
Mama, I'm holding my
Say goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Good night.
But Ben likes to pretend to be a dog, so that was.
Oh, I was gonna say that was pretty good.
We don't have
Fooled me, for sure.
dogs. That is our 6-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Well, he wants to let you go.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have to get their story time going.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for letting us talk your ear off. We're both pretty talkative. Just in
That's perfect.
Perfect for podcasting.
Yeah.
Yay! We always have something to say. Weird or not. So, all right, so Hayden, we're going to get through this class, and don't forget that next week for High, it's going to be at you at Love class, because you get to sit next to me.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
All right.
All right,
Have a good night.
yeah, you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.